Hi, Shep Hyken here, customer service and experience expert, and today I'm going to talk about trusting your customers. At a recent conference, I enjoyed an interview with a business owner who shared some of his customer service philosophies. His name is Jake, and he's a really smart guy. He taught several lessons that day, but the one that stood out was how he handles angry customers. Specifically, it was a lesson he referred to as "don't smell the milk." Now, early in Jake's career, he worked at a grocery store. His manager taught him how to respond to a disgruntled customer. The example that he used had to do with a customer who wanted to return a spoiled carton of milk. If a customer claims to have a carton of spoiled milk, the natural reaction would be for an employee to open up the carton and take a whiff of the milk. As natural as that seems to be, even if you agree with the customer, your actions may send the message that you don't trust your customer. You had to check to make sure the customer was telling the truth. Instead, Jake's manager suggested taking the milk from the customer, no questions asked, and exchanging it for another carton. And if you want to smell the milk, well, smell it later. Now, that made me think of an experience I had at a restaurant. I'd been there many times before, and I was excited to order my favorite entree. The meal arrived, and I took my first bite. The sauce, it didn't taste right. The manager happened to stop by to see how we were enjoying the meal, and I mentioned that the sauce had a funny taste to it. And I promise I'm not making this up. He actually dipped his finger into the sauce and put it in his mouth to taste the sauce and thought for a moment, and then he said, "There's nothing wrong with the sauce." Now, maybe there was anything wrong with the sauce, but to me, there was. Regardless, I'm a regular customer who had finally made one negative comment after many, many visits, and this is how the manager handled it. And just like the spoiled milk example, the manager doubted my word. Furthermore, he chose to disagree with me. If you've been following my work, you know I believe the customer is not always right, but they are always the customer. And this guy was interested in winning a debate about the sauce versus taking care of me. All he had to do was say something like, "I'm sorry, is there something else I can get you?" Instead, I was stuck with food that didn't taste good and the sauce that, well, it now tasted like the manager's dirty finger. Okay, so that's a slight exaggeration, but who wants to eat food after you witness an employee sticking his or her finger into the food? So the lesson is clear. Trust your customers. Don't say things or take actions that question the integrity of your customers. If you want your customers to trust you, you must also trust your customers. Well, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the short lesson. This is Shep Hyken reminding you to always be amazing.